Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. All right, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. I hope you all are doing well. Just gonna give this bowl a twirl. Check out these symbols. Oh, we have a 3, very evidently a 3 right there. So it looks like the number 3 is going to be very important for you coming up in this next little space of time. And as I like to say, these readings are timeless. Whenever you watch this, it is kind of activated into your life, right? And so in the next week, 2 weeks after you see this video, look for something important with a 3. Probably maybe even the manifestation of the number 3 actually written or something like this. Okay. All right. And let's see. I am seeing, and this is so interesting to me. I have pulled the Queen of Wands, okay? And she is beautiful. She is all fire and her beautiful little cheetah. Look at that face. Oops, there we go. He's not messing around. She's not messing around. They are not messing around, okay? This is a self-realized, kind of a bad ASS lady, right? She is wisdom through and through. Really makes me think of deep exploration into the lands of love and sexuality, and love and sexual sublimation. So taking those interests, desires, the things that have been cultivated through exploration or experience, and making it into some kind of art. Okay, some kind of creative thing, putting it to use in your perception of the world, how you experience the world, maybe even putting it to use in your line of work. I always think of, in my mind, I relate this so much to my own experience as getting older and experiencing the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. As a younger woman, I kind of thought, okay, her flowers and her landscapes, they're interesting. They're kind of like luscious, or you could tell there was something more than, they were more than what they look, than the actual flower, right? Or the actual desert landscape, or whatever other beautiful thing. I mean, she has a lot of beautiful, beautiful work. I love that southwestern vibe and the skulls and these kinds of things, right? But as I've gotten older, I've realized, oh, they're very erotic. They're beautiful. They're just kind of so indulgent and glorious, unapologetic, and just I just really, I just really never realized how the curves, like, oh yeah. So go look at some Georgia O'Keeffe. I really, when I relate the thinking of any kind of desire, sublimation and desire, or experiencing of the sexual forces, the sexual experience, whatever, Georgia O'Keeffe. So shout out to Georgia O'Keeffe. But also, okay, so let's talk about this. We have some interesting images here. We have what looks to me almost like maybe a coyote head, and it's kind of sitting, it's in a seated position. The head and then the body. Okay, the body's in the seated position. Then we go down here and we have another figure that's kind of in the seated position. And I really believe that this has so much to do with you are going into a period of time where you are really looking for that spiritual experience, that kind of window into your own being, your own kind of understanding of self. But I think that you have been so busy for most of your adult life, at least, that you have not had a lot of time to kind of put energy into doing things for yourself that feel like they're extras. Okay, maybe you have been raising a family, maybe you work full time, maybe you do both, maybe you are involved in a lot of different things, extracurricular type stuff, or have hobbies. You have more than one business happening, whatever it is. I think that you've been a very busy person. I think that you also on some level equate some of this interior work, or even just getting to know yourself, like in a really clear, raw, honest way. Not just like understanding what things you like and don't like and this and that, but really, really sitting with yourself, right? Really looking at all aspects, all of the archetypes, the shadow, which is the thing that we really avoid, right? But I think to you, on some level, you kind of equate this kind of time spent as almost doing nothing, right? Like this is like only somebody who has a lot of free time can indulge in this kind of self journey. Okay, and I apologize, we have a little break in continuity. My daughter woke up and I had to run off and make sure she did not wake up all the way. Oh, having toddlers. Okay, let's see. Now I want to look also at, let's see. We're looking right here at this little one, and it looks very much like a boar, a wild pig. Okay, and these animals are glorious. Okay, they're also kind of a nuisance in North America. They were brought here and released, and they have bred and taken over all across the entire, most in North America, anyways. Especially in the southern parts of America, places like Texas and the like, okay? But these animals are resilient, and they're very intelligent. They take up for their own. And I really think that this is a beautiful image of this energy that is arising in you, that is really just telling you that it needs you to shift your focus just a little bit. right? It wants you to take that time for a little bit of nothing, that time to ponder things, to sit quietly with yourself, okay? There is a ferociousness in this necessity to really be kind of acquainted with these deeper parts of self. They will not abide being silenced, right? They must be heard, and they will manifest in your life one way or another, okay? Oftentimes, if we ignore them, if we suppress them, they will manifest in our behaviors. They will manifest, especially in times when we are inebriated or we have kind of an altered state of mind. That could be due to tiredness, high emotions running, a lot of stress, obviously substance use, but also they will manifest in our lives through other people and through our ordeals, okay? The problems, the circumstances of our everyday life, okay? And we will be forced to confront them. Now, I think a way that we can process through them, maybe a little more directly, maybe a little more, with a little more nuance and care, a little more softly, right? Is when we do take the time to kind of explore our own minds, explore our own self-mythology, look for those strands of origin to our kind of perceptions of life, how we are oriented towards certain things, how we are, how we react, right? What parts of ourselves do we find difficult? Okay, what parts of ourselves do we love? What parts of ourselves do we wish we could cultivate a little bit more? All of these things, okay? When you take the time to really, really explore them, and now you can do this by yourself, obviously, but you can also use things like analysis, therapy, active imagination. There are a lot of systems within esoteria, religion, spirituality, that also can assist, okay? But I think it's really important to, like a child, okay? If you look at yourself as a child, not necessarily just like your inner child, but just in general, how we approach children. We can't just leave them on their own, to their own devices, and expect them to evolve in a way that is, I'm not going to say useful, because in a way that is not problematic, right? It could be dangerous, could be harmful, could have, you know, lasting effects. We have to nurture our children. We have to help educate them, guide them, you know, present ideas to them in ways that they can understand and, you know, and grow with, and it becomes deeper and more dynamic. We have to do this with ourselves as well. Parts of ourselves that are uncultivated, parts of ourselves we've tried to, you know, just not face. You know, a lot of times this can be things like anger, especially I think in women. Rage. This is something that is conditioned out of us, at least conditioned to not participate in, to try to ignore, to be dismissive of, to feel foolish. irrational, hysterical, neurotic, all these kinds of things, labels. And it goes unprocessed, it goes unheard. And then at some point it bubbles up and it gets raging like a volcano and it just blows at some point, right? Well, we can spend the time to get to know these parts of ourselves, use them usefully, use them in acts of sublimation, put them into our work, into our art, know them, hold them in esteem, honor these parts of ourselves. Okay, and I think that this is so important. This is important for anybody at any age, okay, and of any gender identity and so on. It's not, you know, not just for women, of course. And then we're going to look here. We have this, oh, and here comes my daughter. Okay, and if you could hear or not, my daughter woke up once more. So I'm going to finish this reading off with her sitting in my lap, and then we're going to get her right back to bed. Okay, so we have this large cat right here. It looks almost like a lion, or maybe that cheetah that we see in the Queen of Wands card. And so I think this really is in line with that that energy of wanting to perpetuate the wisdom, okay? Not just like the boar where it's coming up and it's really just kind of has that wild protective energy, but this kind of beautiful, graceful, transcendent type of energy. And I think that goes right along with everything we've been talking about. I think that this is part of yourself that maybe you feel that you are missing. I feel like it almost feels like you are going to be in the process of untangling your self mysteries. And even more than that, really making use of your own experience. Once you have really kind of had the time to go back through and kind of, sort through some of the things. Some of that self-mythology mixed in with understanding parts of your true nature, your authentic self, and most importantly, your true will, okay? The things that you want, the things that you need in life. Not the things that you think you need or that you've been conditioned to feel that you want or need. Not the things that people have told you you should want or you should need. Or, you know, these many masks we wear and the things that we collect, and you know, all of the esteem and awards and badges and whatever. All of these things are just kind of on the surface level to some degree, right? But your true will is beyond all of that. Your true will is really what keeps you going, what motivates you, what is your passion, okay? And now we have a cat entering the scene. So I'm going to skip to this really quick. We have what I have been identifying as, it kind of looks like a lowercase I, but it is the illuminating candle, okay? And this one has a flame that is really jumping. So I really think that something has shifted in your life, really has come about. And I almost wonder if it has been kind of a sense of the things that you have accomplished, the life you have set up for yourself is going fairly well. I mean, it really seems like you are doing what you want to in the mundane world, but it just isn't fulfilling to some degree, right? You can just keep adding on the accomplishments and the different things that you have learned or traveled to, or even, you know, the dynamics and relationships in your life. And they're wonderful, right? And they should be enough. They should be the thing that makes you happy, or so we're told, and so it seems, right? That seems somewhat logical. But really, then we get to these points where it's almost like we've hit some kind of plateau. We've entered some kind of zone. It's not necessarily just like a discontent. It's just kind of, you know, it doesn't make sense why we aren't feeling fulfilled. I keep saying that, and that's what just keeps coming to mind. It's almost kind of just a buzzing existential kind of crisis, maybe a bit of dread, but really I think that it is this this calling that is rising up in your being, right? Into those spiritual places, those deep unconscious places, those places among the many parts of self that demand to be witnessed, demand to be known, demand to have their relationships with you, although they are you, right? Be activated and cultivated and, you know, honored, okay? And so I think that's where we're going to stop with this before anything else shows up around here between the cat and my little baby here. And so I thank you very much for your time and for spending this time with me, allowing me to read for you. It is always such an honor. I apologize that this reading got kind of just away from me a bit, but I hope that somewhere in this something spoke to you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing so. You can hit that little bell. It will let you know when the next videos come out. If you are interested in looking at your other placements, you should go and do that. There are probably at least one thing in each reading that will resonate with you, and you can take that little bit with you and you know, kind of string them together and make something of it. Other than that, please leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know. Oh, excuse me. Let me know what's going on with you. I love hearing from each and every one of you. I really do appreciate all of you. And with that, I will say goodnight and get us all to bed right now. Thank you, Pisces.